welcome to another bookish video from me, Johanna, me, my dog and books. And this week I am coming at you with some, well, 10 to be exact, October releases that I'm really excited for, based purely on their cover and or synopsis. So I'm going to go through them in no particular order. I'll put the dates and all of that in the description. Let's get stuck in. Been doing my research. I've got my notes. So grab a cuppa. Ready to go into October's releases. Now, obviously the month of October is also the month where some of the Christmas books start to come out. I've kind of ignored them for now because I wanted to keep it kind of spooky. Not all spooky because there's a mix of genres here, but just a note, I haven't included any of the Christmas releases, which will obviously start coming out October, November time. So I'll maybe touch on them in November. If you'd like me to, let me know in the comments. The first one is called, and I've been excited about this since I discovered it when I was researching for September's releases, it's called The Hitchcock Hotel by Stephanie Wrobel. I don't know this author at all, but I love the sound of the synopsis. It's pitched as something for fans of Knives Out, Agatha Christie and Hitchcock, obviously. 6 friends, 1 remote hotel called the Hitchcock Hotel, somewhere like in the middle of nowhere in New England. So yeah, the main character's Alfred. This is his new venture, this hotel, and he decides to invite 5 of his old college friends he hasn't seen for 16 years. I think they did film studies or something together. He invites them along to the hotel in the middle of nowhere. And things are all going well until one of the guests discovers someone standing out like on the other side of their shower curtain. Then another one becomes violently ill every time they eat something, and then all of their mobile phones go missing. And then things start to get worse. And that's when you realise, well, that's when the guests realise they're stuck in the middle of nowhere and can't call for help. How exciting does this sound? I'm all for these kind of Hitchcockian, Agatha Christie vibes. So I currently have a book that I need to return to Waterstones, so I think that's what I might be returning it for. Next up is The Crescent Moon Tearoom by Stacy Sivinski. Let me check. Sivinski. Said it right. This one also comes out on the 10th of October. Sorry, I can't remember if I said the last one comes out also on the 10th of October. This is UK dates, so they may be coming out or already be out or coming out soon in US or Canada and other places throughout the world. So I'm basing it on ones that I'm excited for so I can get hold of. This one basically sounds like a sweet, cosy, witchy novel. Following the untimely death of their parents, you have 3 sisters. That's not 3. 3 sisters. Anne, Beatrix and Violet. And they run a fortune-telling tea shop where they spend their days threading together the stories of their customers at the bottom of their teacups and making cinnamon shortbread. All the wonderfulness of cosy, witchy tea room time. But then the Council of Witches gets in touch and makes a call that the diviner in the city has lost their powers, and so there's a call on people like the sisters, and they find themselves pulled in many different directions, and all of a sudden they're each having their own challenges, and as they look to try and save each other, they're possibly facing the end of their tea room. So all of that is happening, and that's all in all. It sounds cosy, it's set in a tea room, there's witches, and also this cover. I've never read anything by this author, so if any of you have or aware, or if it's out in your home and this book's out and you've read it, let me know. The next one is by any other name by Jodi Picoult. Also comes out on the 10th of October, and this is Jodi's latest book after Mad Honey, which I've read before. Highly recommend. That is 2 POVs. Go in knowing nothing. Anyway, back to By Any Other Name. This is a dual timeline story where you follow two women in a male-dominated world whose lives are centuries apart. 1581, you've got Amelia, who is a poet and the mistress of Lord Chamberlain. And she is not allowed to publish any of her work under her own name. And so to see any of her work come to life, it has to be done under the credit of a man's name, thus erasing history of any of her creative work. Then you have modern day New York and Melina, who is a struggling playwright, and she's struggling to get recognised for her work, and she's drawing inspiration from her ancestor Amelia from the 16th century. And so you have the stories of these two women separated by 400 years, showcasing the societal constraints of identity, patriarchy, ambition, and sacrifice. All these elements sound right up my street. You've got writers, women, and the patriarchy, effectively. Can't wait to read this one. Also, the cover. Next up is an author that I normally always pick up, probably from the library, because she can be a bit hit and miss for me. It's The Blue Hour by Paula Hawkins, author of A Girl on the Train and A Slow Fire Burning. I really enjoyed Girl on the Train, not so much A Slow Fire Burning. This also comes out on the 10th of October. I think all the books are coming out on the 10th of October. This was not intentional, I'm just discovering that. Like when I was doing my research, I kind of noticed that they were October, but no. So far, they're all the same date, so that keeps it easy. We follow three people on a Scottish tidal island. This is an island that has one inhabitant and is only ever connected to the mainland for a few hours a day. So the story of these three people are thrown into a nightmare when there's a bone in the centre of a sculpture is discovered to be a human bone. And these three characters become intimately connected by the secrets and lies that put said bone in the sculpture. That's all I know, and to be honest, with these kind of thrillers, that's kind of all I want to know. But I'm liking the setting, I'm liking the idea of the remote setting. It's also set in Scotland, so kudos. And yeah, it sounds a bit freaky. So here for that one. Next one is called The Treasure Hunters Club by Tom Ryan. Look at this cover! This is out on the 15th of October and was described as everyone in my family has killed someone meets the Goonies. So, I mean, pretty much that's what got me reading more about this book. And it's set in a seaside town. So there's three strangers that head to Maple Bay, all with a connection, or their own connection really, to the town's long centuries old, legendary, lost pirate treasure sort of story. An old mystery that somehow connects these strangers. So the three strangers come to the seaside town, and as their paths collide, they start to uncover long hidden truths and the bodies start to pile up. I'm getting, like, literally I put the Goonies on the other day just for like background TV. I blooming love that show. The OH always slags me for it because he was like, that just doesn't pass the test of time. And okay, there might be some like words and terminology that it's a bit old of the 80s, but I can legit watch that film at least a couple of times a year. So I have high hopes, so I hope it doesn't let me down. The next has a delightful cover. It's A Grim Reaper's Guide to Catching a Killer by Maxie Dara. How amazing is this cover? And also the synopsis, wait till you hear it. You've got Kathy, she's 42, mid-divorce, and pregnant with her ex's baby. She is also a modern day Grim Reaper and is employed by Scythe, SCYTHE, which stands for, and I'm going to read it because I will not remember it, secure, collect, yielding on and secure, collect, yielding and transportation of human essence. So her modern day Grim Reaper-ishness was the easy part of her job, apparently, or easy part of her life, apparently. That was until her latest client's soul goes missing. She finally hunts down the 17-year-old's soul, who is incessant that he did not die of natural causes, and he demands that Kathy finds out who murdered him and why. And thus the story commences. How fun does this sound? I'm all for kind of Grim Reaper-y, like lost souls, or what's the word, where you kind of have the souls trying to like be the outside eyes in, looking to see who caused their murder. A bit like Ghosts, the movie, remember that? So except there's a female protagonist and her life isn't perfect, and then her job is throwing her challenges. I'm here for it. It's out on the 1st of October, so this is one of the first ones you can grab your hands on. Next is by an author who I already have one of their books, Mary. I've not read it yet, but I hear amazing things and I'm very excited to read it. I think it's to do with, it's horror, women in menopause, I think. Anywho's, not read it, heard great things, so of course I get excited about the author that I haven't read, new book, which is called Rest Stop. And it comes out on the 15th of October, and there's very little information about this other than it follows a young musician who finds himself locked inside a gas station restroom in the middle of the night by an unseen assailant. This sounds mega claustrophobic. So this main character is caught between the horror on the other side of the door and the horrors rapidly skittering down the walls on the inside of the door. So it's a novella at only 160 pages, and I'm kind of terrified but excited to read this one. I mean, this cover is creeping me out, but I'm hoping to pick it up very soon. Next up is a mystery thriller called The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulak. Hope I got their name right. And that comes out on the 15th of October. Correction, that comes out on the 8th of October. But look at the difference in covers. This is a US cover, which I think is stunning and much prefer over the UK cover, which, as much as I love orange, yeah guys, you know I love orange, I much prefer the US cover. It's way better in my personal opinion, but clearly I'm not going to pay extra just to get it. I might actually try and get it out of the library. Anywho's, this book is described as Succession meets Lucy Foley's The Guest List. But, well, I did enjoy The Guest List, but I utterly adored Succession. So I'm here for that combo. So the kind of synopsis says, the guests are arriving, the celebrations are starting, but there's something strange about this wedding. So you have two main characters, I think. Well, the main character is Frank, and he has been separated from his daughter for many years, and he's been brokenhearted about that for a long time. So when he gets a call from his daughter Maggie to invite him to her wedding, he is overjoyed. What he doesn't realise until he attends that weekend is that Maggie is about to marry into one of the country's richest families. So Frank turns up and realises he's struggling to kind of fit in with these really rich people. They're just not his kind of people, but he's so desperate to bond with his daughter that he tries his best. So as the weekend wedding is underway, and he realises that no expense has been spared, he starts to feel like there's something strange about his daughter's fiancé. And he kind of feels that he shouldn't be celebrating yet. This sounds right up my street. I have not read this author's other book. I do have a copy of it. A friend gave me it. I think it was Hidden Pictures. I hear kind of mixed up. If you read this author before, liked it, not liked it, let me know in the comments. But yes, I think sometimes with thrillers, unless it's like an auto-buy thriller author for me, like Riley Sager, I'll maybe tend to try and get it from the library. But yeah, that gives me... I do also like annoying rich people and hopefully seeing their comeuppance. Anyway, so far, are there any books that I've mentioned coming out in October that seem like your kind of vibe that you'd be interested in? Let me know in the comments, and I've got two more to tell you about. I quickly stopped for a tea top up because this bookish chatty McChattiness, it's thirsty work. Got myself a rooibos tea in my pumpkin mug. Come on, matchy McMatchy face. Anywho's, book number 9. Well, weirdly, when I was looking it up on Waterstones, I'm pointing here because there's 2 laptops here and a Mac. I'm using the Mac. And when I looked on Waterstones, it says it's like listed under modern contemporary fiction, but there is no actual information about the book itself. It's actually a mystery thriller, which is what I thought when I'd kind of picked it up before. It's called No One Will Know by Rose Carlyle. So far it's only got like 131 ratings on Goodreads, but it's got a good rating, 4.05, which is encouraging. Anyway, it's described as a mystery suspense thriller. Sorry, I've got my where's the pen? I've been making notes for this, guys. A twisty, suspenseful thriller about a desperate young woman and the manipulation of a wealthy couple who will do nothing who'll stop at nothing to ensure that their worst nightmare becomes their dream come true. Okay, so I was like, what the heck does this mean? So you follow Eve, who has no parents. She finds herself pregnant. She's not got many connections, so for the Highgates, the wealthy couple, she appears to be the prime answer to their nightmare, therefore their dreams come true. The Highgates have a sinister plan for Eve and her unborn child. They need a nanny for their own child, and they've decided Eve shall become that nanny. Meanwhile, Eve can't believe her luck when this wealthy couple take her in as their nanny, and she's living like a queen and, has a great place to where she can have her own child. However, unsurprisingly, the Highgates plan is not as innocent as it seems. So apparently this story explores the dark side of wealth and power and the lengths people will go to keep their secrets secret. or should I say that about to protect their secrets. So I'm super intrigued because with that makeup of characters, I can't quite work out how that relationship and how that their nightmare becomes a dream come true when they get a nanny who's no idea. So I'm super intrigued. I have not read anything by this author. I don't know actually if they've got any others. Let me have a quick look on Goodreads for you. Oh no, there's one called The Girl in the Mirror. Haven't read that. 2020 it came out. Have any of you read The Girl in the Mirror? Let me know in the comments. I always love to chatty books with you. So yeah, don't know much about that author. Looks like the other one's suspense thriller as well. So last but not least, and not in any particular order. Oh, that last one is out on the... Let me get it for you. It did say on the 1st of October as well. Yeah, 1st of October is its expected publication date. So again, a couple of them are at the start of the month. And then the last one that I'm super excited about And again, based on nothing other than the synopsis and the cover. And sometimes the cover is what pulls me in first, and then I read the synopsis and I'm like, ooh, let's add that to the TBR. And I couldn't let you have your last book of the books that I am looking forward to, and hope you are too, in October, not be a spooky one. This one is also by an author that I don't know anything of. I think she's a relatively new author. Her name's Sandeen, and this book is called This Cursed House. Look at the cover! Immediately, I am knowing the vibes this has given me, and apparently, based on the synopsis, I am correct. This is a southern Gothic horror of a young black woman who abandons her life. Well, it's set in the 1960s, and she abandons her life in Chicago to go and take up a position with a mysterious family in New Orleans. Only to discover the dark truth, which is that they are under a curse and they believe she can break it. All here for a female-led, person of colour, spooky, sinister, ghostly tale. This just sums up spooky season. So it comes out on a bit late in October in the UK. I think it comes out in the US, Canada on the 8th of October, but it's a little bit later in the UK. It's the 24th of October. It's right before, but spooky season is for every season. I will read spooky books all year round, although I tend to go with the seasons. So like as I get closer to kind of Christmas, I'll probably read books that have got more sinister Christmas vibes, or winter, and yada yada. So those are the 10 books that come out in October that I am very excited for, based purely on their synopsis and their cover, because I don't think there's any author here that, there's no author who's a mega auto-buy. Like Jodi Picoult, I do like her books and I tend to read them, but I often just get them from the library because they're not books I would normally reread, and she's not like an auto-buy author. But I loved Mad Honey and I have really enjoyed many of her other books. Paula Hawkins is a bit of a hit and miss, so don't normally buy her books. And just flicking through, I don't think the others I've read anything from. Nat Cassidy, I do own one of their books. No, the others are all new to me. So let me know in the comments, is there any of these books that have piqued your interest as they have mine? And are there any that are coming out in October that you're excited for too? I've intentionally excluded Christmassy ones because I want to keep that for, although there'll be Christmassy ones that come out in October, I probably want to kind of start talking about them in October, November time, so you can get time to kind of prep for that. So I'm kind of keeping it spooky, and I've ignored some of the Christmas ones, although if I do give you a quick, because this comes out in October, comes out on the 24th of October, sorry, I've got a hair that's really annoying me. And it's by Susanna Clarke, who wrote Piranesi, is that how you say it? I have been gifted that book by my friend, still haven't read it. She keeps telling me to read it. People keep telling me to read it. Tell me if I should read it in the comments ASAP or not. Is it quite seasonal? I don't know. But I hear it's really good, but it's the title and it's the cover that kind of puts me off. It gives me Greek mythology vibes, which is a topic that I really struggle with because I don't understand it. Well, I don't really have an interest in it per se. Anywho's, she's got a new one coming out. Sorry, this is book 11 and it's eking on winter, but it's called The Wood at Midwinter. Check the cover. And I believe this is kind of a Christmas short story. That's all I'm saying for now, but I had to squeeze it in. Just because it gives me winter vibes and it is coming out in Christmas. And I'll tell you more of these come October, November. Well, in October. Well, yeah, as well as creepy, because I read creepy books all year round, but I also like cozies, I like contemporary fiction. So it could be that next, as I talk about November and December, you'll get a more eclectic mix, because I have focused kind of more on spooky ones here. Anyways, I hope... Oh, I've not shown you any of the doggos. Lucy's next door sleeping, so not disturb. Patty's down here, so I think I can disturb her for a sec. Patty, you gonna come and say hello? Oh, you're so cozy. She's like a wee cinnamon bun all rumbled up. Oh, look at your bed face. Look at your bed face. She's like, oh, Patty. Look at your wee face. Look at you surveying your land. You got a wee bed face. Anyone who's got pets, don't you just love the way they smell when they're warm and been sleeping? There's wee patty cakes. Until next time. Hey, you said hello. So again, if you like these sort of new release videos, let me know. I'm trying not to buy, well, I can't really afford to buy all the new books that are coming out that I want to read. I don't have enough money. So a lot of the time I'll make requests on my local library. So with most of these, that's what I'll be doing. So for now, and until next time, I shall say a goodbye, and I thank you for liking, watching and subscribing if you do. If you want to see any more, please do subscribe, and I'll see you again in another bookish video. Bye!